Hi there, I'm Christine Weber. Welcome to my weekly live stream. I love supporting older women as you get your yoga message out there into the world, older women who like teaching yoga. So thank you for joining me for my weekly live stream. I try and be here on Wednesdays around 11. I actually made it at the right time today. And today I want to talk a little bit about messaging and that we receive in social media as older women. That's something that's been on my mind a lot lately. I think I clicked on a probiotic last week. And so my whole feed in Facebook and Instagram has been filled with advertisements for various postmenopausal supplements. And the promise is that this is going to make me lose my menopausal belly. So, right, this, the paunch they talk about, or the whatever it is. I don't know. Like I don't know, and I don't care. But but it's interesting to me. When I think back, I remember myself as an 8-year-old girl, or maybe 9, and I was standing in the mirror in the bathroom, and I was touching my hips, going, "I will never let myself get fat hips." This would have been 1974 or 1975, probably 19, yeah, around there. Um, so my whole life, I have been assaulted with messages that there's something wrong with my body. And I think this is really common, especially for baby boomer women and for Gen X women. I'm actually Gen X, but I'm right on the cusp of the baby boom because I'm 59. So I'm almost, my brother's a baby boomer and he's 60, right? So that tells you something. So I love to say I'm a Gen Xer, but I'm also a baby boomer. Like I'm in that realm, and I think women in our generation have been so assaulted with messages that our bodies are dysfunctional from forever, since we were children, since I was a child, and then as a teenager I developed eating disorders. Gosh, I wonder why. That was in the 80s, when you were supposed to look like Twiggy. Do you remember Goldie Hawn on Laugh-In? She was just like a stick. Like that's what we were supposed to look. That was the image for women. I was talking to a friend the other day, and she is friends with a woman who was a Bond girl back in the day. She's in her 70s now, I think. And she told me that when this woman comes to her house and she offers her something to eat, she'll have a little tiny taste of it. And then she said, and then she goes to the bathroom and she spits it out. Like that's what we were taught that is what we were taught to do. My mother used to drink Fresca for lunch. Remember, or Tab. She would have Fresca or Tab for lunch while she was ironing. A half a cup of yogurt, a cup of coffee for breakfast, maybe an egg or something, and then a Fresca for lunch, and then she would eat dinner. Like my mother still diets. She's 85 and she's still dieting. And I don't want to blame my mother. Like those are cultural messages. So here we are as yoga teachers, as middle-aged or, Gen X, middle-aged or older yoga teachers. And those messages are so powerful. And if you're standing up in front of a class in workout clothes or teaching online like I do in your workout clothes, it's really hard not to feel self-conscious about your body and your body image, and your paunch that everybody's telling you is a result of your cortisol. So that's the thing that was getting me last week, because this hatred of and this messaging about how horrible women's bodies are also gets disguised as health and wellness. Like, oh, well, if you have a paunch, it means you have too much cortisol. And so we want to do something about your cortisol. That, to me, you're going to the same message. My grandmother had a paunch. My other grandmother had a paunch. Like every woman who's over 60 has a little extra fat. My acupuncturist said, well, like that's there to protect your organs. Of course you need that as you get older. So it's always been very normal, and yet somehow it's looked at pathologically, and then the pathology can help you sell more products to women. Okay, so what this takes me to is yoga. And one of the reasons I love yoga, I got into yoga as a young person, partly because of body image stuff and feeling so, like there was something so wrong with me. And then I got into yoga and it's like, oh no, everything's fine with you. Actually, your body is exactly what you need to play out to play out the karmic residue that you are bringing from your epigenetic ancestors, if you don't believe in reincarnation, or your reincarnated self, to play out those dramas, to play out those obstacles and those lessons that we all need to overcome so that we can become more of ourselves, so that we can achieve liberation, moksha or mukti in the tradition. So I've been thinking about liberation a lot lately, and how liberation is not just like this transcendent state of being one with the universe, although that's where the yogis are pointing to, but there's little liberation along the way. One of the little liberations, I think, is the liberation from not caring what other people think about you. Like because in a way that's healthy, like I'm not caring about, it's really liberating for me not to care if somebody thinks my stomach's fat on my video. Like I just can't care. I can't care about that. And I used to care about it. Beautiful thing about being a menopausal woman is you just don't have the time. You don't have the time. The clock is ticking. Maybe I got 25 or 30 years left. I don't have time to waste on nonsense like that. It's nonsense, So that liberation from what other people think of you is what a wonderful thing to be liberated from. Another thing to be liberated from are society's messages that are so screwed up and have nothing to do with how there's something wrong with me, and have everything to do with how there's something wrong with the culture and the capitalist models that want to keep selling stuff to us all the time, right? So yes, these little liberation from dysfunctional eating patterns, liberation from dysfunctional thought patterns about myself and others, those kind of liberations, I think, are something that we start to see through yoga practice, and that liberation is just as important as the big L liberation. So thank you so much for joining me. Let me know what you think about these thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you next week. Oh, and you can study with me regularly if you're interested in my teaching at the Subtle Yoga Resilience Society. Take care.